At its core, this is not EA's fault, all right? I'm gonna break down exactly why that is. Now, EA, when they try to make Madden, the goal is to appeal to 3 different fan bases. They make this very apparent, okay? They are trying to appeal to the guy who either used to play football, is currently playing football, watches football, and they are trying to appeal to what he wants to do inside the game. A simulation is what that is, okay? He's trying to recreate what they do on Sundays or Saturdays or Fridays, what he used to do back in his glory days in 1987 when he won a state championship. That is a simulation-based player. The next type of person they're trying to appeal to is a person who is trying to win as many games of John Madden football as possible, doing the best tactics, running the best plays, the best schemes, having a great user, etc., doing all that stuff. That is another subset of person they're trying to appeal to. And then the next subset of person they're trying to appeal to is the person who's trying to make highlight plays everywhere. This is a person who's trying to throw it up to Justin Jefferson like Kirk. It's literally Kirk Cousins on his game-winning drive Sunday, tossing it up to Justin Jefferson and letting him do whatever he wants, except they're trying to do this every single time. All right, what those are called is simulation, competitive, arcade. Now, Madden has these 3 different things inside of Madden, but they don't. Any kind of online play is almost always on competitive, and we're in a day and age right now where when people play Madden, they don't want to play 6-on-6 the yard, right? They're not really trying to play. Superstar Caleb was cool, but now it's bland. When people play Madden right now, they are playing 11-on-11 man football, and all the game modes are competitive based. They are almost all competitive except for house rules, right? They're literally like that is what the game setting is on competitive. And so what EA started to do, what it appears to me, is even though they have these 3 subsets of different things, is that they go into competitive and try to make competitive do all 3. Competitive's trying to do arcade, competitive's trying to do simulation, and competitive's trying to do competitive. All right? Because that is the most widely played game mode in online Madden by far. Now, all of the glitches and menu issues and presentation bugs and presentation lack of updating, all that stuff, that is not what I'm talking about in this video. That is an entirely different topic, an entirely different audience for an entirely different creator. That is not me. I agree a lot of stuff's terrible. That is on EA. But from a gameplay point of view, you have to understand that to be able to make one game mode represent real football and represent arcade and represent what it is to be competitive esport and competitive gaming is impossible. You can't do that. No company could do that. It's not a Madden issue, or it's not an EA issue, rather. It is no company could ever do this. And what I mean by that is let's really broad picture this, and then let's nail this all the way down, all right? And I'm talking Madden after Madden after Madden here. Very broad picture. I'm playing a game online, and my quarterback breaks his leg. I'm in my Super Bowl, quarterback breaks his leg. That's kind of bullshit, right? Like, that's kind of dumb. Like, now he's out of the game. That's not great for competitive. Is that great for simulation? Yeah, that's perfect for simulation. Bad for competitive, bad for arcade. All right, let's go Justin Jefferson one-handed catch last Sunday. Terrible for competitive, great for arcade, not awful for simulation, apparently. 2 days ago, I would have said it was, but apparently now it's not terrible for simulation. Let's go a little bit deeper now, okay? Let's go, the only way you can defend a crossing route in this game is to have a flat set to 30 yards and typically have someone bracketing him in like a man-up or a deep zone. Competitive? Really good. That's awesome for competitive. I think you should have to adjust to that. Simulation? That's kind of dumb. Arcade? I really don't know how arcade would view it. Not great, I would assume. Not freaking great. It gets into this issue of going into thing after thing after thing where they're trying to make every aspect of the game appeal to all 3, and by doing so, you appeal to none. Now, the guy who's trying to recreate his Vikings wins on Sunday can't go in on arcade, and he can't play online and ag with Justin Jefferson every single time. He can't make those spectacular catches with Justin Jefferson, but he also can't even run the Viking scheme because he's going to get actually literally glitch blitzed to death if he tries to run anything that's not one of the best formations in the game, and that's just a fact of the matter right now. So he gets online, he's pissed. I get online, and I see receivers actually put their ball sacks in my DB's mouths and give them actual STIs. And I'm like, oh, I'm pissed as a competitive player. The arcade, he's like 12 years old. He loads up for the first time. It's choosing between Warzone and Madden. He's going up and trying to make awesome catches with Justin Jefferson. The DBs won't animate with him. He's just agging, and then when he doesn't ag, the ball gets popped up, and it's terrible. It's all 3 things. None of them are being accomplished right now at a high level, and that's one of the reasons I think there's such a big discrepancy between everybody being so upset. I think that is so big in why everyone's upset, because being a purely competitive game, for example, overthrows should never happen. Should very rarely happen. There's select situations they should happen. But from a purely competitive standpoint, should never really overthrow, because it's a dice roll. You want to eliminate RNG, overthrows are dice rolls for the most part, right? That's dumb for simulation. That makes no sense. Ratings don't matter, right? Ratings don't matter if you don't ever overthrow. For competitive, that's awesome. For arcade, overthrows are probably stupid too. Again, I can't really think from the arcade point of view, but that is an actual subset of people. That's where like Superstar KO and all that stuff came from. So you get in that, it's like, well, that's dumb, dude. That's really stupid. Football is such a hard thing to program additionally, because there's so many active, constant moving parts that are totally AI based and are totally dynamic. And while I believe this game would function way better I think you would see way less glitchy stuff happen if the game was designed to be 11 on 11 and we just watched. The impact of a user, the impact of how users throw the ball and how users play on defense and how they interact and how users interfere with I don't want to say predetermined, but animations that are gonna happen already, it can't be overstated from a programming standpoint, from Madden's point of view. Now, again, I do want to touch on one of the big issues I think that everybody has in the game, playbooks, right? I've been playing some NCAA 14 recently, actually, and those playbooks are huge. Made by the same developers. It's EA. Obviously, different people, probably. Again, EA sucks for that. That's not what I'm saying. But I so strongly believe that there are so many issues with trying to make an actual football game that will appeal to everybody. I think the answer is that you have to make those 3 game modes play drastically different. But I don't know anybody who's and actually be viable game modes. But I don't know anybody who's going to go into competitive. The only people who want the game to play as competitively and as un-RNG based as I do is like 200 other people in the world. Literally, it's 200 other people in the world that want to play, because I don't want ratings to matter in a competitive game. Seriously, I don't. Especially in full MUT now. Salary cap is a different story. But in full MUT, everyone has the same cards anyways. Ratings playing a huge factor just increases RNG, and we can get into that discussion later, but I am right about that. I want this game to play so un-RNG based, but that's not football. It's not. I love football, and football has fumbles. Football has Josh Allen taking the snap at the 1 yard line, just trying to kneel the ball out to lose or to win and fumble it into the end zone, right? That is football. How do you put that in competitive? And at what point is too much and not enough? You know what I'm saying? It is such a super frustrating balance. And it's so frustrating for me as a Madden player, because I want the ability to be able to play simulation based, because I got into Madden because I love football, and I was supposed to go and coach football at Western Michigan University as a student guy, and I loved that stuff. And so I went from a simulation based to competitive based now, obviously. I love that simulation based, but I don't know how. I can't load up a game of John Madden Football, go online, and play someone in a simulation style. I'm gonna get my head beaten if he runs any kind of halfway decent blitz or has any half of a brain. You just can't do it. So again, there's got to be some separation, or I think they have to go all in on one of those aspects. I think they have to. I don't know if there's another choice. I really don't. I think they have to go all in on arcade, simulation, or competitive. And I guess I don't think simulation's the answer for that. I don't think people want to play a simulation-based game. I don't. As much as people say they do, I don't think they want to play a simulation-based game that much. Especially, like, I just don't think they do. And competitive, definitely not. You can't go that route either, because people don't want to play. And football has RNG. Competitive is not RNG, so you can't go that way. And then when you think about arcade, let's talk about arcade, right? No one wants to play that the entire game, so you have to mesh all 3, and we're back to square one. That's the issue I think EA has. Hey, you made it to the end of the video, meaning that you probably enjoyed it. If you did, check out this one right here. You're gonna like it even more. Or consider going in the description and check out my website, civil.gg. Learn how I play the game of John Madden Football. All right? See you in the next one.